So I had to see it, so you have to see it now too. So Games for Diversity expose pushing culturally divisive content in video games to children. Sweet Baby Inc. connection uncovered. Ooh, we're going deep. Now, when I saw this, I was like, okay, maybe it's just like some stupid indie game. It's far, far worse. It's not a secret that the gaming industry has become inundated with companies that solely exist to push DEI and, yeah, Sweet Baby Inc. And woke values to a new generation of gamers. We've seen this over and over again. It's from Sweet Baby Inc. to, yeah, Black Girl Gamers. I completely forget about them. They're just as bad, but they're not nearly as well known as Sweet Baby Inc. YouTubers master the TDS and writing Raven, butterflies in the sky. Now, have exposed one such company, a Dutch firm called Games for Diversity. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? For pushing culturally divisive gaming game featuring a magic drag display to children. You can tell these people probably have no idea how to actually make games, and the people who are making games like this are then hired from like bigger companies, and then you wonder why the games are so bad, because instead of hiring the best people for the job, they're hiring people like this. They're hiring people like that. People who are not on their A game, but rather people who are just there to kind of insert bull crap in there. Games for Diversity describes itself on its official website as a company that seeks to improve the representation of sociocultural minorities in games by organizing events. It then goes on to explain how this is done. By organizing events nationally and internationally, we facilitate a dialogue between game developers and players to stimulate them to create more diverse games and and those characters are never good, ever, ever. Again, think of all the games that came out this year that had forced diversity. How many of them were good? None. None. Because these people think that being gay or black or whatever is a personality trait. So these characters are severely lacking in actual character. Instead, they're just stereotypes of being gay or black or whatever. And even the people they pander to are like, okay, like I'm gay, but this I'm like I'm a gay dude, but I don't act flamboyant like this. Why is it a stereotype of gay people? Because apparently, if you're a gay man, they don't know that men can be gay but not flamboyant. They don't know they don't seem to comprehend that they're masculine men. When they come to making black characters, you always notice that the black characters are loud and outspoken and sassy and this. You do realize that that's a stereotype, right? That most blacks are not like that. It's a stereotype, and they want to call us the racist ones. And not even for actual racism. We're calling it out. We're like, why are all the black characters the same? Like, you're making them all sassy and outspoken, and that's a stereotype of black people. The flamboyant and oh hey guys, oh slay queen. That's a stereotype of gay dudes. Not all gays are flamboyant. Not all blacks are loud and sassy, but they keep doing it. Additionally, we boost the visibility of minority game developers themselves because we strive for a diverse and colorful game industry. Diversity doesn't equal good. You can have the most diverse game ever, and I bet you anything the story's going to be bad, the game's going to be bad, and the characters are going to be bad because diversity, that seems to be the only thing going through their minds when they make these games. The company connects developers with gamers to create DEI-centric games that push very specific narratives pertaining to gender, pride values, immigration, and more. You know, because when you're trying to play a video game, having stuff about immigration and pride shoved down your throat is totally great. You know, you play a game to escape from reality, and it's just having reality shoved down your throat at all times. That's why people are getting pissed off with games like Dragon Age and all these games set in the medieval fantasy, and they've got real world modern politics thrown in there with modern terminology and all that. It makes no sense. People are tired of it. The company holds game jams in which developers and gamers come together to compare thoughts and ideas before ultimately developing a game. In a recent video on the Gothic Therapy YouTube channel, Master of TDS and Writing Raven showed clips of games 4Diversity's released from a games clips released from a jam in which the developer helped a drag performer who goes by Amanda Sparks create a side-scroller mobile cartoon adventure called Amanda Sparks and the Shade Forest. The game is described in its write-up by course as a fabulous, free, and fun 90s-inspired platformer game for Android, iOS, and PC. If it's for PC, I might have to try to see. Just because, you know, you can't really play these games. You can't really say anything unless you play them sometimes. And I mean, I think it's going to be just as bad as it sounds. The player takes on the role of a drag enthusiast, Amanda Sparks, to survive the Shade Forest and rescue her friend from the evil hands of the hypocritics gang. Oh god, you can tell these people don't play games at all. But then they get hired by companies. Despite being advertised as an Android and iOS, or for Android and iOS, the game doesn't appear to be currently available. Huh. It can, however, be, I'm guessing, from their page directly. With the power of her kisses, the fierce... I think for this I need to do this. With the power of her kisses, the fierce Amanda must defeat enemies, save Go-Go Boys, drag, and collect money to become even stronger. All while keeping her hair and makeup intact. If she's ever going to fight her enemies, she might as well look nice doing it. Oh god, this is terrible. Yeah, this looks just like a game that is created by someone who has no idea about games. Despite the subject matter, the game isn't listed as being for mature audience, and downloads are not restricted by age. This means a percentage of the game's target audience is children. In the game, kids can take on the role of the drag performer to kiss enemies and turn them into cash. Sure. Their goal is to rescue large men in their underwear. Thank you for rescuing me. The game also features the ability to purchase unlicensed outfits inspired by children's characters like Mario, Pikachu, and Sonic. Again, attempting to reach a younger, minor demographic by offering familiar costumes. More outfits to come. Oh, what else? Are they gonna have Sora? Like, what else would they have? The boss battles in the game feature thinly veiled social commentary like the Bully Bull, which appears to be a monstrous take on a normal man. The player can then bitch slap the boss with a special move. Again, people who have never played these games or never played games before, as seen in the image below. What? Oh, okay, yeah. Likely to avoid mature rating, which would prevent the developer from. Yeah, that kind of says a lot, doesn't it? That kind of says a lot, doesn't it? Master TDS then points out that on the official press page for Games for Diversity, there's a write-up in which the company chairman, Menno Dean, is highlighted and praised as a game changer by GameIndustry.biz. This is a company that at one point employed Sweet Baby Inc. co-founder and CEO Kim Blair, of course. Like a freaking spider webs, all connected. Oh, what tangled webs we weave. It's all run by the Powell Group, a company that recently entered into a partnership with Sweet Baby Inc., then deleted all mention of the narrative consultancy firm from their website and LinkedIn when called out on it. Uh-huh. In other words, the world of DEI game companies is a lot smaller than we might think, and there always seems to be some connection to Sweet Baby Inc. and Kim Blair whenever it happens. I wonder if there's any connection of that, any connection to that. The master of TDS said sarcastically to end the Gothic therapy video. I don't know. In a conversation with that Park Place, the master of TDS expanded on that thought. Evidence pointed that Sweet Baby Inc. More often than not, and for such points to Sweet Baby Inc. more often than not, and for such a small, insignificant company does that doesn't do what we think it does. It's odd how they keep turning. Yeah, yeah. Sweet Baby is like, oh, we're just a consultancy firm. We get hired by companies and we help them create diverse, enriching stories and representative characters that make the players feel like they're in. But no, it seems like everywhere you turn, these people have their freaking nasty, grimy fingers in the pie. Everywhere. And now, you're going to get that piece. You're waiting for your piece and you're about to get it. But no, they've got their freaking fingers right in it. Like my germs, kind of like that. Imagine Sweet Baby. There we go. With the power of my awesome meme making skills. My germs, we got Sweet Baby Inc. Modern video games. That's exactly what it is. Getting their grimy fingers all up in everything. Um, Now where was I? Um, as for said, yeah, it's odd how they keep turning up. Yeah, strange how a small consultancy group that says that they don't really have any influence or anything like that continues to just pop up, and somehow it's more like this now. So, people can say it's just a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Every modern game that's had Sweet Baby Inc. have it with its grimy. It's failed. It's failed every single time. But then having this crap, which is since they're clearly things that kids recognize, the censorship, toning it down with the words. Clearly, they're marketing this to kids as well. The fact that it doesn't have an age restriction on it means they want kids to play this as well. Let kids be kids, okay? We don't care if you're drag. We don't care if you're trans. If you want to do drag, whatever. Keep the kids out of it. That's all we're asking. If whatever adult things you want to do it in the privacy of your own home, with the privacy of other consenting adults. Stop trying to get these kids into this at a young age. Just fucking stop. Just fucking stop. We don't care what you do behind closed doors. Stop forcing it on the kids. I don't want to hear anyone say, "Oh, well, it teaches them to grow to be, welcoming and tolerant." Did we have any of this crap when we were kids? No. And people grew up tolerant, didn't they? People grew up tolerant, didn't they? So that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. This is just a way to push this crap to kids. Roxas. So we people growing up in the 90s and the 80s and the 60s, the 70s, we all grew up without this kind of stuff being shoved down our throats, and you have plenty of tolerant people, don't you? So this is clearly directed at kids for a reason. And don't say it's because of freaking teaching kids to be more tolerant. Don't freaking say it. But I might actually play the game to see how bad it is, since it's free to download. I did one, it was the cat park or something. I can't remember. It was a couple months ago, I think. It was like to push like political crap, and it was bad. It was really bad. But yeah, I might give it a try to see what it's like. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.